Welcome to the Hurst Trading Room. This is our video update for the 17th of June 2013. This week in the markets, we didn't get entered into any of the trades that we discussed last week because the markets were moving about in a manner that wasn't particularly directional, and so none of our entry levels were triggered. We still have a very profitable trade in the British pound to US dollar, which will most likely be coming to an end soon. Before we take a look at the markets, please make sure that you have read and understood these disclaimers. Let's start off, as always, by taking a look at our open positions. In fact, we have only one open position between all four instruments that we are trading in the Hurst Trading Room, and that is our open position in the British pound to US dollar. And as you can see, that has turned into a wonderfully profitable trade. Here is our entry level, our entry price down here at the green line. And we entered into this trade on the basis that the 80-day cycle trough had formed, which of course, with the benefit of hindsight, we can say that it did. At the time we entered into the trade, it was an A category long trading opportunity as price crossed up above the 20-day FLD, which is over there, and our T1 target was hit at the high of the bar of entry, so that's our T1 target right down there. Our T2 target was hit over there, that's our T2 target, and as you can see, our trade 3 at present is right up here. So that is why our trade 3, of our 3 trades that we take for every trading opportunity, our trade 3 has earned itself the nickname of the lottery trade, because sometimes a market will fulfill your expectations in terms of what you expect the cycles to do, and it will go beyond your expectations, exceed your expectations, and that's why we have the lottery trade, trade 3, to take advantage of those occasions. And this is a perfect example of why we have a trade 3. As you can see, our 3-bar trailing stop at present is at this level over here, which is slightly above the FLD. And so the worst thing that can happen to our trade 3 is that we will be exited at this level over here and still take a very handsome profit out of that trade. Now, in last week's video, I also discussed the possibility of entering into a long trade in the US markets, in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. And in particular, I mentioned how I was going to be watching the Nasdaq. So let's take a quick look at the Nasdaq. You will notice that we didn't, in fact, enter into that trade. In fact, our entry level was missed by only a few ticks. And that was because over here, as you can see, I spoke last week about the possibility of this trough being a prominent trough that we would want to trade out of. And I mentioned that, of course, we would be interested in trading as price crossed the FLD. But, of course, we have a very important Monday rule, which tells us how we should trade on a Monday, or in particular, how we should not trade on a Monday. Those Monday rules are explained in the first few modules of the FLD Trading Strategy course, and they are very important. Because, of course, we are trading on the basis of cycles moving the markets, and those cycles move the markets 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which means that they are influencing the markets to move over weekends as well. And what tends to happen is that following a weekend on a Monday, we will often see the tail end of a cycle move that perhaps started before the weekend, and it will often not be a very accurate cycle move. And that's because traders are finding their ground. They're trying to work out where the cycles are. Well, they're not trying to work out where the cycles are, but they, whatever it is that is causing price to move, whatever these cycles are, traders tend to lose touch with that slightly, or the market loses touch with it slightly. So you'll often see activity on a Monday that is not worth trading on the basis of, which is why we have our Monday rules. And here you can see there was clearly a cycle move that started on the Thursday, carried through to the Friday. It carried through in overnight trading on Monday and then dropped down again. and so that's why we weren't entering at the level of the FLD. It's a very important rule, but I did mention that I would consider entering at the level of the previous week's high, which was, in this case, at a level of 3,006. Plus, of course, a few ticks. You always allow yourself a few ticks leeway when you are looking at a price level. And the high on this day, on Monday, in fact, I believe came up to about 3,005. So we didn't get stopped into that trade, and it was just as well, because it turned out the price was destined not to cross the FLD but to track along it, which is what it did last week. So that's why we didn't enter into our long trades in the Nasdaq or the S&P 500. And so we have only the one open trade, the trade in the British pound to US dollar. Thank you very much for being with me in the Hurst Trading Room this week, and over the past 8 or 9 months that I've been doing these Hurst Trading Room videos. I am going to be taking a break now, and I invite your feedback. Please let me know what you would like to see when I come back from the break. I always like to take advantage of taking a break to step back a bit and to think about what I'm doing, and I would really appreciate your feedback. I would love to hear what you would like to see in the Hurst Trading Room, what has been working for you, what hasn't been working. How would you like to see the Hurst Trading Room proceeding? I've produced many of these Hurst Trading Room videos. There is a very big archive now of how to trade using the FLD trading strategy in many different trading conditions, and I suspect that the once a week video is losing its interest because so many of these situations have been discussed before. So I have some ideas about what I would like to do, but I welcome your feedback. I would love to hear about what you think would be really beneficial in the Hurst Trading Room to help you trade profitably using J.M. Hurst's market cycles, and in particular working with Sentient Trader, and of course trading using the FLD trading strategy. So until the next time we meet in the Hurst Trading Room, I wish you profitable trading.